again.
Welcome back to the Reverbium podcast. My name is Jimmy.
And I'm Sean.
Standard. I really need to switch up this intro. It's even boring me.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
We keep things the same forever.
We do.
We don't have... Well, we have a bit of news, but we don't have a real big main topic. So we're going to talk about the Euro group stages that have just finished.
And the upcoming knockout stage.
And the upcoming knockout stages.
Which I believe starts tomorrow. Maybe today when you're watching it.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Woo!
But we'll start off with... since we're doing sport last, we'll start off with TV and movies. Why not? That's sort of what I'll just go take.
Okay, just take the spotlight.
Jesus, take the wheel. There was a big announcement to do with the Hollywood Hall of Fame and which celebrities, stars would be getting stars on the Walk of Fame, Hall of. You know what I'm saying.
Do I know what you're saying?
Some of those stars,
I don't think I do, Jimmy.
the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you know the drill. Some of those stars are Jason Momoa, obviously Aquaman, Game of Thrones. Carrie Fisher, sadly passed away, known for Star Wars. Tessa Thompson.
Wait, Carrie Fisher not have already?
No, apparently not.
Wow.
Remember, she was a bit of a drug addict, wasn't she? Maybe they are also. That.
Aren't they kind of bullshit because you just have to pay for them? That's not really all it requires to get one. Just
I think you have to be nominated as well.
Okay.
Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. Ewan McGregor, everyone loves Ewan McGregor. And Ricky Gervais as well, which was a surprising one. There are a bunch of others, but these were the ones that I have on my list. But yeah, there's some big names on that. So it doesn't really impact us at all, but that is some news. We have Titans Season 3. Season 1 and 2 is available on Netflix in the UK, I believe. For those who don't know what Titans is, it's a DC superhero show based off the characters from the Titans comics. You might know the Teen Titans. It's kind of like the older version of them, to put it in simple terms. But yeah, there is that. And I think, oh no, I have the Suicide Squad trailer just released. The trailer was titled Rain. I think that's because the song used in the trailer was Rain or Raindrop by Granson, I believe. So yeah, good trailer. It didn't show much that we didn't know, I guess, from the other trailers, but
it's focused a little bit more on Idris Elba's character, giving us a bit of background about his daughter being in the film. That's kind of mainly
a replacement for Will Smith, but that's literally what they're doing again. But yeah, it's fine.
Whereas in the first trailer we had John Cena talking about dicks, we had him talking about buttholes in this one, keeping the anatomy comedy going there.
And he's getting a spin-off TV show as well, so why not?
Yeah, that is ready for release on the 30th of July, so not long before we get to see that now.
Good backup details there, Sean. We also have some casting news for Disney's live-action Snow White. Rachel Zegler will be playing Snow White in that. Not much else is known. We have the movie title for the next Transformers movie, which will be called Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and will be kind of set around the Beast War era of Transformers. We also had a trailer released for... Oh, something has popped up on my computer for
those dodgy porn pop-ups.
No, it was just my file browser.
Hot local mums in your area, Jimmy.
Hot local mums. I was going to say, yeah, there is when your mum's around, but you say yourself. I wasn't going to say it, but
this is a reputable news place, Jimmy. We don't make those kind of jokes.
Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe spin-off movie, had a trailer released also, which you can catch on YouTube now. That is all of my movie and TV stuff. Anything from you?
I have one more, which is the hit Netflix TV show Sex Education had their release date confirmed. Season 3 will be airing on 17th of September of this year, and will receive 8 episodes in line with the past 2 seasons. We also got some some pictures from the series as well, where we see the cast are in a school uniform, which we've never seen before. So that could give obviously a few hints about where the story might be going, and also one of some new characters as well. Other than that, we don't really know much else. They had to delay filming for it during coronavirus, which is why it's now taking a little while for this season to come out. But if you're waiting for that, it is now confirmed 17th of September.
Yes. I'm just going to slot this in here, just in the middle, because you can't run away now, Sean. Wrestling. Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
I thought we were leaving sport till later.
Is it sport?
Yes, wrestling is a sport. It's in the Olympics.
All
It's
right.
a sport.
It's sports entertainment, so it could go in either one. Let's be honest. But we're going to put it here. We had the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view for WWE, and overall pretty average. I will go through each one and tell you my opinion. Natalya defeated Mandy Rose in the pre-show. Very average match. Not much to it. It wasn't a title match, despite Natalya and Tamina being the tag team champions. But it happened. Natalya won by submission. We move on. That was the pre-show. No one really cares. The next match, bit more important. Well, a lot more important. Bianca Belair versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship in Hell in a Cell. This was an actual Hell in a Cell match. Pretty decent match. Bayley had probably the moment of the night where she tried to set up the sticks, the kendo sticks that were sellotaped together and like across the ring and the cage. And she tried to do it last year with Sasha Banks, but completely fucked it up and failed. So while she was doing it, Michael Cole said on commentary, "Oh, she's trying to redo what she did last year," and Bayley turned to him and said, "Shut up, Michael, they know, they watch me." So that was pretty funny. Bianca Belair ended up retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship here. Pretty good finish, pretty decent match. Next up was Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, which is a rerun of matches that they've done since WrestleMania, pretty much. This was Cesaro. It was very one-sided in their feud. Cesaro kept winning, but this was Seth Rollins' time to shine. He got the win here, and he won by roll-up, so it was kind of a surprise. So he got a quick sort of cheeky victory, leaving Cesaro stunned in the ring. Again, another good match. Shayna ended by roll-up, but I guess it sort of fits with the storyline, so that's fine. Next up was the worst match of the night, other than the pre-show, which was Alexa Bliss defeating Shayna Baszler. If anyone here watches current WWE Raw, you know Alexa Bliss is kind of spooky now, and she can control people. And she controlled Nia Jax and Reginald. She controlled Nia Jax and made her accidentally hit Reginald, and then basically cost Shayna Baszler the win. And yeah, kind of. It was pretty shit. It was pretty bad. Next match was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Again, another kind of one-sided feud with Kevin Owens picking up the wins previously. They had, I think their last high-profile match together was WrestleMania. That involved Logan Paul. Do you remember? But this time, Sami Zayn got the win. Kevin Owens was still suffering an injury where he took the Nigerian nail from Commander Aziz backstage, and Sami Zayn basically knocked him into the rope, so it bounced off his neck, and then he hit him with the haluva kick and got the victory. It was good to see Sami Zayn actually win a match. Next up, we had Charlotte Flair versus Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. And typical WWE, they could never let Rhea get a win over Charlotte, of course not. So Charlotte Flair won, but she won by disqualification, which means that Rhea Ripley is still the Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte sorry, Rhea accidentally, well, not accidentally, they were kind of both out the ring, and she tore the top of the announce table off and threw it in Charlotte's face, and that got her DQ'd. Pretty weird considering people are allowed to put people through the announce table in normal matches without a DQ, but whatever, I guess. They are rerunning this match at Money in the Bank apparently, so I guess they want to do it in front of a crowd. That's why they were waiting. But yeah, Rhea Ripley's still the champion, but Charlotte got the win. And the main event, Hell in a Cell match, which was Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. And if Drew lost this match, he would be unable to challenge for the WWE Championship as long as Bobby Lashley was still champion. And, you know, I was talking about roll-ups before. This match ended in a roll-up. A Hell in a Cell match ended in a roll-up. WWE do not have a good track record with Hell in a Cell matches in the past few years. But it was a good match, and I guess the roll-ups sort of fit, but at the same time, it probably should have been something a bit more conclusive, considering their WrestleMania match ended with Bobby Lashley making Drew pass out. So why did they not do that here? But yeah, it was a good match. It was a really good match, but just a lot of people didn't like the ending. Overall, like I said, it was pretty average pay-per-view for me. Nothing really amazing. I'd say the standout match was maybe Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, or Seth versus Cesaro. Both the Hell in a Cell matches were good as well, so it's kind of a toss-up, but I don't think anything really stood out to be as it's kind of a low standard considering a lot of their other pay-per-views. And yeah, I mean, not much else to say on that. Apparently at Money in the Bank we will be seeing Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley for the title, which is something that happened on Raw, and it's a talking point because Raw also had a Hell in a Cell match, because SmackDown had one where Roman Reigns beat Rey Mysterio to retain his title. Well, Raw had one because the USA Network were apparently upset that WWE put a Hell in a Cell match on Fox but didn't put one on USA. So they had Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley. And if Xavier Woods won, Kofi would get a shot at the title. He did not win, but Kofi is apparently getting a shot anyway because reasons. So yeah, WWE for you. That's all I got. That's all.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God it's over.
Thank God. To be fair, we've only done 12 minutes of the podcast, so we're all right. We're going well. Oh, good, we're still on this as well, because I missed this. The Supergirl suit for The Flash has been revealed, which I completely forgot about, and I'll put on the screen now as well. I think I'll flash up an image so people can see. The actress in the suit is, I believe her name's Sasha Cale, or Sasha Cal, and she'll be portraying a version of Supergirl in the Flash movie. There were also pics revealed of Michael Keaton on set, who will be playing Batman, reprising the role of Batman from the older movies, and obviously Ezra Miller, who's returning from Justice League. So yeah, that's some good images to show people there. And we move on to any gaming news. Have we got gaming news, Sean?
A tiny bit, not much. I'll bring the Pokemon stuff into it as well.
Okay.
Just if I can. Yes. So in the past week, we've had the official Olympic Games game released for the world. It was released 2 years ago.
For the world,
in Japan.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's released 2 years ago.
Yeah, Japan got
doing?
it. So they're having it early anyway, and obviously a year early, and then the Olympics got delayed, so the game got delayed as well. Yeah. So as of the 22nd of June, you can buy the official Olympic Games globally on PC, Nintendo, PS4, Xbox, and Google Stadia. And then tomorrow as we're recording, today as you're watching, Mario Golf Super Rush will be released on Nintendo Switch. A highly anticipated game right there. And for any fans of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, if you have a Nintendo Switch, remasters of those are also coming out on the 25th of June. And I will also, while I'm here, mention about the Pokemon 25th anniversary TCG set has been released today. Is being called Pokemon Celebrations. The last anniversary set we had was Generations, but it's now Celebrations. And we've also, so about the set itself, it's going to include 4 V cards and 2 VMAX, 25 classic Pokemon TCG cards, I believe. One's going to be based off of base set Charizard, of course, because it's the most expensive card, and a few other older cards. Not all of them have been said yet. Just a couple were hinted at, but it's 25 classic ones that will be in that style, and the entire set will have more than 45 cards. It was set to be released on the 8th of October, and unlike usual sets, each pack will only contain 4 cards as opposed to usual 10, I think it is. Or it might be 8. No, I can't. It's one of the two. I think it's 8.
8 or 10.
It's 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8. We've had some promo cards released as well, which you can see in the pictures of the products. So those are Mimikyu, Delta Species, Light Toxicity. So they're bringing back some of the old themes of like the light and dark Pokemon. Hydreigon C, base set Pikachu, some of the classic ones here then. Base set Charizard, Greninja Gold Star, Zacian Level X, Lance's Charizard V, Dark Sylveon V, and Dragon Ball Prime. So they're new cards with old gimmicks sort of thing on them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the V cards weren't around when Sylveon first came out. The same with Level X's were around way before Zacian came out. So there's a few cool cards maybe like that. Also some cards that are mentioned and they're mentioned in the set description. Some are appear in celebrations are Mew, Ho-Oh, Zamazenta, Base Set Charizard, Umbreon Gold Star, Tapu Lele GX, Flying Pikachu, and Surfing Pikachu. Obviously Flying Pikachu and Surfing Pikachu were special cards previously, so they're quite sought after. Onto the products anyway. What we will be getting is a Dragon Ball Prime box, which is available on the 8th of October. All of these are going to be released on the 8th, apart from the last 3, which are on the 22nd. So we also get boxes for Lance's Charizard V and Dark Sylveon V. We'll also be getting a deluxe pin collection, which I'll get down to it. This will include the promo card that has Zacian Level X on it, an enamel pin featuring Flying and Surfing Pikachu, and then 4 of these Celebrations packs with 2 additional packs from other sets. Most likely going to be Chilling Reign, I should imagine, or at least 1 from Chilling Reign, maybe 1 from Battle Stars, being the most recent sets. You'll get a standard Elite Trainer box that will contain 10 of the packs, as it's a special set. It's not a main set, so get 10 packs as opposed to 8. There will also be 5 additional regular Pokemon TCG booster packs in this. Doesn't say what they'll be. There'll be a special foil card featuring Greninja Black Star, a 65 anniversary themed card sleeves, 45 energy cards, your usual book that tells you about everything, your damage counters, your dice, those sort of things. There's also then a special Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. We don't know the contents of it yet, but I imagine you'll need to be in Japan to be able to get this, as with most Pokemon Center products, which you can't get in the UK unless you go through a distributor that goes from Japan to here, or from the US to here, or anything like that. We'll also be getting mini tins, again release date on the 8th of October, and there will be, I remember, there's 8, which each one will feature the starters from each generation on them, and as per usual mini tins, there'll be a little art card showing this big piece of artwork that you can put together, which should feature all of the starters in it. There's also going to be a Pikachu V Union special collection box. So V Union is like the new gimmick that they're bringing out, which is kind of like the break cards that we used to have, where 2 cards would make 1 card, which was a bit annoying if you're collecting them because you need to have both to be able to use them. But with V Union, it's actually 4 cards that join together to make 1. And we're getting special Pikachu in this. You can't actually see the image of the card in the promo pictures. The cards are facing the wrong way, so we don't actually get to see what the artwork's on it like at the moment. One thing that I am this is amazing. It's a Celebrations Premium figure collection of Pikachu VMAX. So you will get a figure in the box of Chonky, Chungus Pikachu. And I believe you'll be able to get a promo card. Yeah, a promo card of Pikachu VMAX. The description is a super-sized figure of Gigantamax Pikachu, and in that you'll also get 8 packs from Celebrations and 3 additional TCG booster packs. And for anyone that knew about the Ultra Premium collection for Zacian and Zamazenta, they're also doing a Celebrations version of that, which will be $120, released on the 22nd of October. So this will feature 2 metal cards featuring base set Pikachu and base set Charizard, a special gold version of Pikachu V, 1 special gold version of a Pokeball, a Charizard and Pikachu enamel pin, an anniversary-themed metal coin, 17 celebration packs, and 8 other TCG packs with a player's guide. So it's kind of similar to the Zacian Zamazenta one, where you get a lot of packs in there, probably from all different sets. The 8 packs could be from all 8 of the most recent sets going backwards, but they don't say exactly what they'll be. We'll have to wait till closer to the time to find out what they are. And the final thing, what usually comes out in sets is a collector's chest. So there'll be 6 packs in there, along with 2 regular TCG packs, 3 foil promo cards featuring Mimikyu Delta Species, Light Toxicity, and Hydreigon C, some stickers, a mini portfolio, and a coin, and with a notepad as well. And obviously you get to keep the case as well. So a lot of products coming out, which we don't normally see for special sets. Usually it's a Elite Trainer box, some mini tins, and a couple of promo boxes with maybe a pin in it. But yeah, a lot of things. The figure collection, not something we've really seen before, and the Ultra Premium collection, also we have seen before, but really excited stuff of what's in there. So it looks like it's going to be a really good set. But as per usual with Pokemon cards recently, probably going to be very difficult to obtain. So I'll be keeping an eye out from now for places doing pre-orders. But obviously being very careful of people out there who might be offering pre-orders that can't actually guarantee that they're getting stock. So make sure you're not paying up front for them if you can, because it's going to be difficult to get these, and you don't want to end up paying for that pre-order and then the supplier turning and going, actually, we haven't got any, and trying to get your money back.
Well, that was a very long Pokemon segment to ultimately say, look out for Chungus Pikachu.
It's all about Chungus Pikachu.
All about Chungus.
Get those Chungus Pikachu figures. That's what we want.
Well, the next few segments are going to be quick. There was a sort of tease, and something went down on Twitter basically about a studio called Blue Box Game Studios, who are releasing a game called Abandoned, and they kind of did it to themselves, but at the same time Twitter went a bit mad, believing that this might possibly be a Silent Hill game, but they think it was a studio set up by Hideo Kojima, as a sort of pretend, they're working on this game, actually it's Silent Hill, but we don't know. And we'll find out, I think, in the next week or so. But the studio has come out and apparently said, they've tried to say don't get disappointed, it's not going to be Silent Hill, we're a separate studio, blah blah blah. But whether they are or not, we'll find out. But it is quite a funny thing that happened on Twitter this week. And also we have some EA news. I know, boo, But EA are reportedly announcing a revival for a fan favorite series, but we don't know what series it's going to be. But it will take place at an EA Play event in July, which I believe will be hosted by Xavier Woods from WWE. I think he'll be hosting that. But fans have speculated that this game may be the return of Dead Space, which is a series that has not had a game for about 10 years. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we see. I like Dead Space. We may even see a remastered collection of all the Dead Spaces if the Mass Effect collection is anything to go by, because I believe that sold quite well. And it deserves it, to be honest. It's a very good collection. But yeah, be on the lookout. Don't get your hopes up, because it could be Spore. It could be the return of Spore. Everyone loves Spore. Spore wasn't bad, to be fair. It wasn't bad. But that's not what people want. That is all of my gaming news. So we're done, aren't we, with that?
Yeah, it's on to sport.
Sport. Should we get all of the non-Euro football?
Yeah, we're gonna start off with some cricket because not many people care. We had the Test final this week between India and New Zealand. It was quite an interesting one because it went to day 6 of 6, even though it's a 5-day test match, because day 1 got completely rained off, and also rain breaks in other days. It did look for a long time that we weren't going to get a result, which in the end, if that was the case, it's really shit because it means they share it. There is no winner, they both win.
Oh.
Which is shit. So I'm really glad we got a result. It was New Zealand who won in the end with an 8-wicket victory. India were all out for 217 in the first innings. New Zealand got 249 in reply. Then India were all out for 170 after the morning session, I believe, on the final day, which obviously led to a target of, I think it was 140 for New Zealand on the last day, because they had that lead from the first set of innings and they caught it, or they chased it down, losing only 2 wickets, with Williamson on 52 not out and Taylor on 47 not out. So New Zealand are technically the best test team in the world at the moment.
Nice. Do you want to do Formula 1?
I have the Formula 1 as well. We were told, I believe it was today, 4 hours ago, as we're recording this, that the British Grand Prix at Silverstone will allow to have a full capacity crowd on the 18th of July, which will be 140,000 spectators. No
news
interesting
on how this is going to happen, or if people are going to be tested for COVID at the moment. I don't think.
I imagine they will. It will be the largest crowd for a sporting event in the UK since the start of the pandemic. With all other sporting events, the crowds have been made to test negative with a lateral flow test, but on the day before turning up, and anyone testing positive obviously cannot attend. And those have been with reduced crowds as well. So I imagine they'll be the same. But obviously, it has caused a bit of controversy, as currently in the UK we have got rising what are they called?
Cases.
Yeah, COVID cases. So whether it will stay that way, we don't know. But at the moment, they're allowed to. I can see it changing, dropping back down to maybe half if something isn't done about these increasing cases. But we'll see. And then along with, I just seen this one. We also were told that there are going to be changes made to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix circuit ready for this year, which is a huge bonus because that is a boring race usually. The changes will be made to the 5 and 6 chicane, which is the main problem people have into the hairpin. That's going to be completely removed, and the turn 7 hairpin will be widened slightly more, so it's hopefully going to be more of an overtaking position. There won't be a huge slowing down section before getting to the hairpin, and will hopefully make it a bit more navigable. I don't know what the word is. I don't give a shit. Basically, it should be easier for cars to go through the corner and then exit to have to follow onto the long straight. The 4 right-angle corners from turns 11 through 14 will also be replaced with a long banked corner. Again, it's these right-angled corners that slow cars down and make it impossible to follow. So hopefully at the end of the back straight, that will also provide greater overtaking opportunities. And the radius of turns 17, 18, 19 and 20 will also be made wider, hoping for the section to be a bit faster and more overtaking. And the final thing is that Lewis Hamilton's come out today and said that he's currently holding contract talks with Mercedes to stay on at the start of this season, very late before the start of the season. He signed a 1-year deal to take him to the end of the season, but always said that he was keen to continue racing beyond the season, and his contract talks currently are looking very positive for him to be able to stay. So it'd be nice to see him probably win another 4 world championships. This has also come. Go on.
No, okay, continue.
Yeah. It's also come amid speculation that Valtteri Bottas may be losing his seat at the end of the season with poor results compared to Hamilton, compared to the last few years, and that it's likely that George Russell from Williams will take over that place. But Hamilton has come out and said that he'll be more than happy to keep for Bottas to stay. Probably because it means that no one will challenge him in his own team, so he probably does want him to stay. But yeah, it's looking likely that that Sir Lewis Hamilton will be staying in Formula One for a few more years still.
Yeah. Should we run through the French Grand Prix as well, just a little bit? It was quite an entertaining one towards the start and the end.
For once, usually the French Grand Prix is notoriously known for being a very boring race.
Yeah. Max Verstappen was pole position to start the race and immediately fucked it. Hamilton was first for the majority of the race, and basically Verstappen got pushed back and had to get past Bottas, who near the end of the race also fucked it. Couldn't get in the way, couldn't block off Verstappen for long enough, and there's a bit more to it because there was quite a tactical play from it was both teams actually. Mercedes fucked up and Red Bull were able to capitalise on that. So Mercedes decided that they were going to keep Hamilton out for an extra lap, then his plans stop, and what that allowed was for even more of an impact from the undercut from Verstappen. So basically, they brought Bottas in, which then triggered Red Bull to bring Verstappen in to try and counter that. They decided to leave Hamilton out. Hamilton then had a very slow in-lap, whilst Verstappen had a ridiculously quick out-lap, followed by a second lap after that, where he was able to, I think he picked up about 4.5 seconds in 2 laps on Hamilton during that pit strategy, which allowed Verstappen to make the jump on him and take first place. And then Red Bull made the very brave call of bringing Verstappen in for a 2 stop. Hamilton and Bottas both stayed out on the 1 stop, whereas I believe both Red Bulls were brought in. And basically it meant that in the last, I think it was about 10, 12 laps of the race, Verstappen had to make about 14, 15 seconds, which he was able to do on the last lap, making a turn into the chicane that splits the 2 long straights. It was a great call from Red Bull in the end, and it obviously worked out really well using the quicker tyres there. He also gained fastest lap for an extra point. So Verstappen won, with Hamilton in second, and Perez made up the rest of the grid, as he was also passed by Bottas towards the end of the race, who ended in 4th. Lando Norris keeps his streak up as the only driver in the field to gain points in every single race weekend, and Daniel Ricciardo finally showed some pace in 6th, as he's starting to get used to his McLaren. The rest of the field was Gasly, Alonso, Vettel, Stroll, Carlos Sainz, Russell, Tsunoda, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Leclerc, Raikkonen, Latifi, Schumacher and Mazepin, which leaves the World Championship of Verstappen in the lead with 131 points. With some quick math, that's 12 points ahead of Hamilton, with Perez in 3rd as
Nice
long
and
as
fourth.
Verstappen gains points in the next race and Hamilton wins, it will still be quite difficult for Hamilton to go top of the drivers' standings as it stands right now.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
for constructors, Red Bull currently leading on 215 points with Mercedes 178 behind. So it's very much advantage Red Bull going into the rest of the season. They've shown a great amount of pace so far this year and come on leaps and bounds compared to last season and the season before.
Mm-hmm. Well, that has been Formula One. I have one more thing before we get to football and then the Euros. We have a new boxing promotion apparently starting up in partnership with KSI, YouTuber, boxer, musician, whatever you want to label him as. We'll be partnering up with Proper Loud, Wasserman Boxing, and the Sauerland Brothers to bring this new boxing promotion to life. Might be a way for him to, start up more regularly or just do a bit of more on his own terms, with all of these people like Jake Paul demanding fights. If he has his own boxing promotion, he might be able to do it on his own terms a bit more. So yeah, there's that. Bit of football before the Euros. We have Manchester City apparently reportedly putting in £100 million bid for Harry Kane, but I think Tottenham have. I think Daniel Levy has said nah. But
I haven't really seen much about it. There are also talks that there's going to be a swap deal in place that would involve Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling going the other way. Apparently Sterling has come out and said that he would be against moving to Tottenham. I do not blame him one bit.
Why
So we
would you
still
want
get
to
to
move
see.
to Tottenham if you're playing for Manchester City?
Oh yeah. Especially because it's not like he's not getting game time. But nothing's really been said. I don't think we'll really see much about it until after the Euros because, let's be honest, Kane himself isn't going to be want to be or won't be negotiating anything while he's playing the Euros. So although bids were made, we probably won't hear any more of it until at least England are out of the competition, whether that be on Tuesday or after the final when we win and it comes home.
It's coming home, Sean. It's coming home. It's not
But
coming home.
before we get to it coming home, we must talk about the fact that away goals are a thing of the past.
Yes.
UEFA are scrapping the away goal rules in all of their competitions, including the Champions League. If you've lived under a rock for the past God knows how many years, the away goals rule is basically that an away goal will count for more in a two-legged situation. So if the scores are level at the end of the two legs, whoever has scored more away goals will go through. There is no need for extra time and penalties. They're scrapping it. So
what
I
would
believe
it still be in? Like, I'm trying to think. Is it in the FA
the rule.
Cup? Would it make sense in the FA Cup?
No, because the FA Cup
Yeah.
isn't two legs.
No, that's true. Yeah, there isn't. What's the domestic
The
one?
only time it comes into place is for the Carabao Cup in the semi-final
The
when there's
EFL
two
Cup.
legs.
Yeah.
That's the only time. But yeah, the away goal rule has been used since 1965, and they're now getting rid of it, which I'm quite happy about. To be honest, I enjoy
UEFA did a good
shootouts.
thing for once. They did a good thing.
I think it creates more drama. Like it makes games more interesting if they're going to be level. And what it will hopefully do is, if a team is able to get a goal in the away leg to start off with, it will hopefully stop them just parking the bus in the other game to avoid conceding an away goal. That might make games a bit more exciting. And obviously, the potential of penalties makes everything more exciting anyway, because who doesn't love a penalty shootout?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, this will start as of next season, so something to look forward to.
I love it when David De Gea's not in goal. No, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how different the tournaments are going forward with this rule scrapped. But yeah, Euro time, big Euro time. We have a couple injury / COVID announcements beforehand, but they are relevant. Scotland's Billy Gilmore tested positive this week, so couldn't play their final game of the group against Croatia. What a shame. Boo-hoo.
I mean, this also did
It
lead
also
to Mason
impacted-
Mount
Yeah.
and Ben Chilwell not being able to play for England in that final game as well. Thankfully, it didn't make a difference because England still won. It's going to fucking come home. But it does
Ben
raise
Chilwell
questions.
wasn't going to play anyway, let's be honest.
Yeah, but it does raise questions on why two England players who spent a bit of time in the tunnel after the game with this one player had to isolate despite testing negative, yet the entire Scotland squad who has spent the last few weeks in training, in hotels, travelling to games together, in the changing room together for so long, they're all fine and didn't have to isolate. It's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, no, it's very weird.
Yeah.
But and it's weird as well, if it was the case that they just spent time in the tunnel together and stuff, why are both England and France not forced to isolate? France and Scotland, sorry, not forced to isolate, because some players must have been in contact with him on the pitch. Like, did he have it while he was playing? Like, if he must have done, if this was a tunnel incident, like that. There's more to this.
Yeah,
but we'll never find out.
Seems a bit weird. But anyway, the group stage has ended in the European Championship.
One more thing. One more withdrawal that I saw. There might be more, but this is the one that I picked up on. Was Francis Dembele, who suffered a knee injury and has been withdrawn from France's Euro squad. I got
really confused. I thought you said Francis Dembele.
No,
who the
France
heck? It's Mana.
It's the country of France.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it. Yeah, group stages. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes, so the group stages are over. Group A, we had Italy top in the group, Wales in second, and Switzerland third, with most people's dark horse Turkey getting no points whatsoever, which I don't know why people had them as a dark horse. I really don't know. I think it was literally just because Yilmaz had a good season for, I think it was Lyon, one of the two. It's either Lyon or Lille in the French league. But it does mean that Italy, Wales, and Switzerland are all through to the next round. Group B, Belgium topped the group with Denmark, Finland, and Russia all on 3 points. Denmark are the ones that qualify in second, with the only teams with a positive goal difference. Finland and Russia both miss out with negative goal difference, with other teams, or for Finland anyway, other teams in the third position having a better record, so going through. Group C, Netherlands topped that group, with Austria in second and Ukraine qualifying as a highest third place, with North Macedonia ending on 0 points in last in that group.
Rest in peace, MKD.
Group D, England topped the group with 7 points, with Croatia going through in the second spot. Going through on goals for, interestingly, because they had the same goal difference as Czech Republic, but scored 1 goal more in the group stage. Czech Republic also go through as a highest finishing third place.
Wait, Sean, have you seen the bottom of that group?
Oh, those Scottish bastards who have won the 0-0 with England trophy.
But they went 0-0 with England. No, I'm kidding. We like Scotland.
They've won the 0-0 with England trophy. Well done to Scotland.
But they also won.
Yep.
Being kicked out. They won last place.
A shock in Group E as Sweden topped the group with 7 points, Spain qualifying second with 5, Slovakia in third, and Poland finished with only 1 point at the bottom of the group. And in the group of death,
Slovakia would have gone through if they didn't lose 5-0 in their last game.
Yes.
Literally, that's such a 5-0. Oh, imagine doing that well to keep your level goal difference and then losing 5-0.
Yes, and then the group of death, France topped that group with 5 points.
They had a great last game day as well.
Great. Like in this group, Germany qualifying the second place, and Portugal going through as a highest, finishing third place, with Hungary finishing bottom with 4.
Hungary were very lucky.
Almost beat Germany, went ahead twice in the game, let it slip. They scored immediately from kickoff after Germany equalised for the first time, which was setting up for England to play Hungary. But we, as you'll find out in a second, we are going on to play the Germans. So I'll let you run through the fixtures for the round of 16.
Yeah, if I can get them up. 1 second. Wait. Oh my god.
Sorry
Keep
for
on
springing
talking.
that on you.
Keep on talking. No,
I
like,
have them. So
I have
can
them.
go
I
through
have
if you
them.
want.
No, I haven't. On Saturday 26th, which is the first day, so tomorrow from the time you'll be watching this podcast, or in 2 days, depending on when I get this video out, but probably tomorrow, will be the first game. Will be Wales versus Denmark at 5 p.m. UK time. I'm going to do this in UK time. I think this website is on UK time. I would hope so. But that will be in Amsterdam. Italy versus Austria at 8 p.m. will be in London at Wembley. On Sunday, 27th, we'll have the Netherlands taking on Czech Republic at 5 p.m. and that'll be in Budapest. Belgium take on Portugal at 8 p.m. That'll be in Sevilla. Monday, 28th of June, we see Croatia take on Spain at 5 p.m. in Copenhagen. France take on Switzerland at 8 p.m. in Bucharest. And then Tuesday we get to Bucharest. That's alright. I apologise, Sean.
Only I'm the person that butchers names on this podcast.
Sorry, I had butcher in my name in my head. Tuesday, 29th of June, we have probably the biggest game, just simply because of history. And I'm not talking World Wars, I'm talking World Cup finals. We got England versus Germany at Wembley Stadium in London at 5 p.m. And then we have Sweden versus Ukraine at 8 p.m. in Glasgow. Those are all of the fixtures in the round of 16.
Yeah, so I think looking at this, there's obviously two of the most interesting fixtures of this round are probably Belgium, Portugal, and England, Germany. Of two stronger teams coming against each other. I think Wales, Denmark will be interesting to see who makes it through from there. It's one we can go through and predict. We'll probably agree on everything, if I'm honest. But I think Wales will go through against Denmark.
Controversial. I'm gonna go Denmark.
No,
I think they'll be
Wales
spurred on. I think they'll be spurred on. I think
Bale's going to turn up again. Wales obviously have the record of in the last Euros. They had quite a good run. I think they'll be able to do that again here. Italy are going to beat Austria.
There's no doubt there. Yeah, we're both going Italy there.
I doubted Italy at the start of the competition, but they have been incredible. The run they've gone on, so I can't really see that stopping soon.
Now, next game is interesting for me because I don't think the Netherlands are as strong as they were a few years ago. So I think the Czech Republic have a good chance, but I'm still going for the Netherlands.
I can only see the Netherlands going through. I think they look so good.
Yeah, I mean,
Partey on form, scoring some goals. Wijnaldum loves the Netherlands goal. They look quite good at the back, even without Van Dijk. So I think the Netherlands go through quite easily here. Belgium, Portugal is an interesting one. I'm really undecided on it.
Belgium. Kevin De Bruyne. That's all you need.
So De Bruyne was absolutely class when he came on during the group stage, but Portugal just have so many good players, especially attacking players as well, and that's where I think Belgium might struggle defensively with that age of defence. And you've got to come up against Ronaldo, Jota, Bruno Fernandes, all of that in attack. They're going to struggle, I think, to keep them out. So I think it could be a high-scoring game, maybe. Yeah, I'm undecided on who I think they're going to go through.
I'm going Belgium. As much as I love Ronaldo,
I think I'd side more with Portugal. I just think Portugal have a better all-round squad.
That's fair enough.
Croatia to Spain's an interesting one, actually, I think.
Spain?
But I don't think Spain have been very hit and miss. Like,
so are Croatia.
Obviously. Yeah.
We beat them. They weren't that great against us either, I don't think. It was a pretty
I think
game.
obviously Spain came out and won 5-0 against Slovakia, but then against Poland they looked really poor. I think it probably come down to if Morata can stay on side for 90 minutes, because we know that's a big issue for him. But I think that will also be quite a close game. I'll maybe probably side a bit more. I don't know. because I think, oh yeah, I saw it with Spain, but then I think about the Croatia still have Modric, they have Perisic, that they still have some class in their side. I
I'm
don't
going
think they'll
Spain.
go. I don't think. I think they could make it past this round. I don't think they'll make it any further, but I think it'll be a good game.
Hmm.
But again, I'm not
We
really
don't
sure
even
who.
we don't even have to ask the next game, but you're still
Yeah,
feeling
France are going through all day
it.
long.
Yeah, France, Switzerland, France,
Switzerland
England.
are not going to be able to cope with France at all. England, Germany. I want to say it's
England,
coming home, but
England,
it's.
England, 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 England. I
I want to say
think
it's.
we have. I'm pretty sure we have a winning record as in recent years against Germany. Although that may be from friendlies, so I'm not
So
sure.
the only thing that comes to mind is that South Africa World Cup, which is obviously quite a few years ago now, but that disallowed goal, that's just what springs to mind for a major competition when we played them.
Hmm.
Obviously, we didn't play them at the World Cup because Germany had a very poor one, didn't make out the group. But I think Germany looked really good as well. The only thing I will say that will side with us is that it looks like Southgate's been looking to set up as more of a counter-attacking team, which could benefit us here. Obviously, Germany are likely to have more of the ball and play the ball around us. So I think that's where we could come into our own a bit more because we haven't really in the group stage, obviously scoring 2 goals in 3 games.
What
I
I've learned
think,
from England's group performances is that we struggle to score goals, but defensively, we're very tight. It's what Southgate's good at. Good at. So
but I don't know because I thought we looked a bit weak at the back during against Scotland. There was definite chances
yeah,
that Scotland could have and maybe should have taken. And definitely ones that if we give those chances to Germany, they will score.
I think with
Um,
Maguire back, it might be a bit of a different story.
Yeah, that might help as well. I just think we definitely need to shut them out for the first half. If we concede early, no chance because Southgate is the way he plays is to try and shut people out and win 1-0. So if we go behind it, then makes that a bit more of a problem for us. Unfortunately, I think I'm out to side with the Germans. I think Germany will go through. I think their squad's just better than ours, and yeah, I think we'll crumble. If I'm honest, I don't think we haven't looked great in front of goal. We haven't had the shots
Disgrace.
on target. We're going
Disgusting.
to need to. We're going to need to take chances and have chances. I just haven't seen that from us in the
Well,
tournament so
I'm
far.
back in the boys. I'm
I'm
back in the
sorry.
boys. It's coming home. It's coming home.
And then for me, the final game's easy. I think Sweden win this quite comfortably against Ukraine. I think Sweden have looked really good in the group stage,
Hmm.
um, and I think they'll be the ones to go through.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sweden.
From the Jimmy, who you thinking like to get through even further?
Um,
Do you know
mm,
what the path is?
what the quarterfinals and stuff?
Yeah, so like
Yeah, I can. We can
who
read
will
them
go
out.
together?
Let's read them out.
Okay.
I can do it. Friday the 2nd of July will be the start of the quarterfinals, and it will see the winner of France Switzerland take on the winner of Croatia Spain in St. Petersburg.
So for
And
me, I think no matter what, France is going to go through the semi-finals from these set of fixtures.
yeah, France for me as well. The next game will be the winner of Belgium Portugal taking on the winner of Italy Austria. For me, this is probably the toughest game if it goes the way I think it will go, which Belgium Italy for me, who who wins that?
See,
Probably
I think either way, whoever wins out of Belgium Portugal is going to still be an interesting game against Italy.
people have been
Especially
hyping
as
up
I said,
Italy like crazy, but the problem is they haven't really taken on anyone big enough. Like we haven't seen them going up against anyone big to get that sort of opinion. Like they weren't in a group of death. They were comfortable in their group, sure, but they're
but
a
I
very
still
good
think
team. I don't
they
want to take
look
that
good
away
though.
from them.
Obviously, Donnarumma
Yeah.
great in goal is going to help them out a lot. Locatelli looks really good for them, I think,
Hmm.
and obviously Immobile been informed this season. So whoever they come against, it's definitely be a close game in that quarterfinal, whether they come against Belgium or Portugal. So I think that'll be interesting, and potentially this could be the path through for the winners for me. I think between Italy, Belgium, and Portugal, those three all have a really good chance of going all the way and winning. Belgium probably lowest down on there for me, but
yeah. I'm gonna put Italy in. I'll back everyone else. Like while we haven't seen them take on a top team yet, you can say that with a lot of these teams. So I think I'll back Italy to go through. So France and Italy from that first day for me. And it's interesting to note as well the 5 p.m. game, the France, Switzerland, Croatia, Spain game, could be a repeat of the World Cup final, which would be a very interesting setup, especially during the quarterfinals. So yeah, I'm interested to see where we go from that. But, yeah. Saturday, 3rd of July, we will have Netherlands versus Netherlands. The winner of Netherlands and the Czech Republic.
The Netherlands.
Yeah, the Netherlands. Taking on either Wales or Denmark at 5 p.m. and that'll be in Baku.
So for me, Netherlands straight through, easy. Netherlands have a lovely path through to the semi-final for them.
Yeah, I would agree. You never know, but
obviously you never know.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. It's in one game, anyone can beat anyone with some fluke that happens. That's the greatness of competitions like this. But for me, I can't see any of those 3 teams trying to take down Netherlands.
Well, the next fixture is something that's really interesting to me because this is the winner of Sweden, Ukraine taking on the winner of England, Germany. If England somehow manage to shithouse their way through, they're most likely going to be taking on Sweden, who are the team England beat quite comfortably in the World Cup not that long ago. So
yeah, in the round of 16.
In the round of 16. So it would definitely
so for me,
be interesting.
Whoever wins out of the England-Germany game, I'm backing them for the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Personally, I think this shouldn't be too much of an issue for whichever team goes through.
Home, Sean. It's coming home.
So yeah, we've got the path to go through, but then we do come against the Netherlands in the semi-final if we do get through, which will be a tough game, I think.
Speaking of the semi-finals, should we read the locations and stuff? Well, they're both at Wembley, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, I believe it's just the days, isn't it? So it's Netherlands, England, So yeah, we don't really know who it's going to be, but it's the winner of quarterfinal 2 will take on the winner of quarterfinal 1. Don't really, I guess, quarterfinal 2 get the home dressing room. I guess, like it fucking matters. Yeah. And that'll take place on Tuesday, 6th of July. Both games will be at in Wembley Stadium, and that will take place at 8 o'clock as well. And Wednesday, 7th of July, the winner of the quarterfinal 4 will take on the winner of quarterfinal 3. So yeah, and obviously the final is also taking place at Wembley as well, and that will take place on
Sunday
the 11th.
Come home. And where football will come home. England will beat whoever gets through, either Italy, Belgium, or Portugal. The European Championship trophy lifted by Harry Kane. He dribbles into it. It's going to be a beautiful moment.
Realistically, who do you think is winning the Euros? Just lock in a team. We want to pick England, but if we're talking about team strength, who do you think? I think I know who I'm going to pick, but
I think from the start I was siding with France, obviously World Cup champions. It's not often we see teams go back to back with tournaments, though. That's the only thing that would worry me. But I think France look really good. Again, Italy obviously looking very strong. It'll be interesting to see in that quarterfinal how they fare there. I'll probably side more with France, but I think that Netherlands could be very much of an underdog sort of thing, of not a name that springs to mind, but will perform well, and Portugal as well there for me.
Okay, so you're going, which one are you going? France?
I think France is my top one, and then Portugal in behind is like a second favourite, with Netherlands as more of a dark horse that could shock people.
Well, I'm going for Ukraine. The Ukraine are going to take it. No, mine were France as well. I had France from the start. I think they'll do a back-to-back. I think they play some of the most entertaining football, at least from the games that I've watched. They have obviously come off the back of the World Cup, they still have some world-class players. Not much has changed in that regard. And while you've got teams like Italy, Belgium, Portugal, all vying for this and possible contenders, I think France might do back to back. I can see them doing it. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I think England could do it. I genuinely think they have a chance, but I'm saying that in the sense of I think if Southgate, like, it needs to, it comes down to Southgate. He needs to switch up his style of football. He needs to, like you said, he's trying to be a bit more counter-attacking, which is something we didn't see a lot. I wouldn't say in the group stages. At least we didn't see it a lot in a good way. We were very defensive on the ball, but we're going to be coming up against opponents where we're going to have much less of the ball. You know, playing against Germany, you're not going to have much of the ball, like you said as well. So we need to figure out a way that we can get past them. I think England have the team to do that. We have one of our strongest teams ever, arguably. All right, it's hampered by a few injuries, Maguire, Rashford. It's hampered by Gareth Southgate not playing Jadon Sancho at all.
Yeah, I think that's something you might need to do, and that's make some ballsy move with the team that he plays. Obviously, I have no problem with Kane starting, but he's not really done much.
He should come on, I think.
He should. The only thing he's got going for him is that he doesn't go very long without scoring goals, so a goal is due for him. But I would have liked to have seen in that last game a bit more time for somebody else to come on in that position to maybe try and prove why they should be there ahead of him, which we didn't really get. Yeah, it's a tough one, but I think based on what we've seen, there maybe needs to be some ballsy moves made of some players start or at least come on that haven't played much already that would actually make a big difference. People like Bellingham, people like Sancho that have been in, have played really well.
Why has he not played every game, Grealish?
Yeah, if you argue that as well. Obviously, we'll have Foden coming back into the team that he didn't play in the last game, which will help strengthen it as well. But I think there's definitely people out there who could have made impacts and will make impact on the game that maybe need to be given more time, and maybe those changes made a bit earlier in the game and some people taken off because, yes, he scored both of our goals, but I don't think Sterling played particularly well.
That's
I think
exactly
other people
what I was
would have
say.
scored.
He may have scored two, but he missed chances that any other player might have put away. You know, if you had Sancho there, he probably would have put that away. Rashford, maybe not. You know, Sterling has a problem with that.
So he looks a bit selfish on the ball to me as well. That there's quite a few times where you see him that he's trying to beat the same player 2-3 times instead of giving the ball, and it stops the flow of our football. So even though he has obviously our top goal scorer, our only goal scorer, I personally, for me, I still wouldn't put it past making a big move and just not starting him or bringing him off fairly early on in the game.
I wouldn't start him and then put him on if we need it. Like, I don't think his form in the league, I know City have won, but I don't think his form in the league should reflect. I think his form in the league should reflect his starting position in the England lineup, and he's not been better than other players in that position. Has he been better than Sancho? Right, play different leagues, but Sancho has been in a different world in the Bundesliga. Has he been better than, I don't know, Grealish or his own teammate Foden? No, Foden's been a star player for City this season. You know, there are players that should be playing over, and I'm not saying not every player fits into that position. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying Southgate insists on having Sterling play every game, so he plays the team in the formation that allows that. So why not try something different? If I know Southgate plays that he's going for the one goal and then almost park the bus, you know, kind of, not quite, but he should be playing. I think we should be playing attacking football because our team is very much an attacking team if you play the right players. If you play your Sancho's, who has how many goal involvements in the Bundesliga. If you play Harry Kane, who's the best striker in the Premier League, possibly one of the best strikers in the world. If you're playing all these players and you're playing defensively, what's the point? Don't start Harry Kane in that case. Play Rashford and then bring on Harry Kane if you're not going to play that type of football. You know, you need that attacking spark, and England don't have that right now, but it might change. Yeah. Well, Euros football, huh? That was our Euros talk. We'll talk more next week, I believe. We should. Is it next week? Oh, yeah. Next week will be the end of the round of 16, so we'll talk more again on that. I have no idea what else we're going to talk about next week, but we'll get there when we get there. I don't know if there's anything that's big that's going to happen. We'll talk about our normal stuff as usual. But to end the podcast, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. We might be trying some new stuff soon enough. Who knows? Maybe we won't. Maybe you'll just have to stick around and find out.
You gotta subscribe.
To find out. But yeah, we'll see you next week.